What is going on, everyone? It is Tyler McKinney back here again, and today we're getting into the XFL. That's right, we're going to get off of the No Fun League for a little bit and get into some XFL because we got a little bit of XFL news today. Hey, if it's your first time here, glad to have you. If you're a return viewer, thanks for coming back and thanks for watching more videos. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing. Now, let's get into the XFL. So we had a little bit of information come out that maybe the Vipers might not be leaving Tampa Bay. The reason being is that looks like on August 31st that a proposal documents were filed in the court listing Raymond James Stadium, the stadium there in Tampa Bay where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play and where the Tampa Bay Vipers currently play or played this past season. That the new owners are planning on assuming the contract for that. Well, what does that mean? Well, there's a lot of legal things and a lot of stuff going on, and you can check that out with it. But the idea and the speculation is why in the world would you pick up a contract and want to assume and reopen a lease that you had or that the other company that you bought it from had if you're not planning on using it, i.e., why in the world pick up the Raymond James lease if you're not planning on staying in Tampa Bay? Now, who knows? It might just be that they're trying to do a good faith and pay out, the stuff for Raymond James. And of course, you had the thing where they filed for $0, and which means the idea is that it means that it's a negotiation and that, Raymond James came back and said, we want $90,000. The idea was $30,000 a game. So you've got all the logistics with it there, but the idea is again, why in the world would Danny, The Rock, and Redbird go through and want to reopen this lease if you're not planning on being in Tampa Bay? And I actually really like this. I think that the Tampa Bay had a neat fan base, a neat following. It was a bit of a large venue for the fans. They kind of got lost in the stadium there. With the stadium, I think it's somewhere around 65-ish thousand people. So it is quite large compared to the amount of fans that there. But the fans really liked the team and really rallied around the team. I think one of the biggest thing is that Flowers never really got the quarterback nod there. And I think Cornelius finally got into the game. They're the last game to where I think if they could have turned some things around and had a winning season, I think you could have seen things, develop more and have more of a fanfare there. But they were all about it, especially about Flowers. They got excited when he came into the game. I mean, a guy from, South Florida, played there. It just kind of made sense with the whole thing. And it was kind of a cool thing there, with that. Now, my thoughts on this whole thing. I think it's a cool thing. I think it's a good thing. Raymond James, I think, Tampa Bay could be a good place for him. I still think that they need a team in Orlando for two reasons. One, I think that it can really make it really interesting and really bring in Steve Spurrier. He wants to be in Florida. I think if you can get another team in Florida, especially Orlando, I think you can pull it off, get him there, get another big name there, have a really nice in-state rivalry. And it doesn't have to necessarily be, an expansion team. It can be one of the teams. It could be, you move the LA team all the way over to there or move one of the other teams, that didn't do as well to Orlando. I could see that happening. If you want to do expansion there, I'm good with that too. But the idea is that it gets us Steve Spurrier there. And I want Steve Spurrier there in the XFL, and the way to get him there is another team in Florida. Orlando makes sense, and with keeping the Vipers there, it keeps Trestman, it keeps all of that team, keeps them together. I like that. I liked what they were starting to put together. They were starting to get some things together there. Cornelius was coming on at quarterback. I think that they could have really made some waves the second half of the season. And so, who knows too, it could have been a whole lot of different things. Aaron Murray was just starting to get healthy again. We would have seen what would have happened, but I did like what Trestman was starting to put together. I love Jerry Glanville. I love, his energy, getting to see him, game in, game out, on the headset, hearing what he's saying, what he's talking, what he's doing. I love that. So, kind of having that dynamic for them back there in Tampa Bay, I think is a good thing. with it all together. I do think that they have there's plenty enough room for two teams in Florida. Florida can handle two teams. Florida's a huge football state. They love their football there. And I think that it would create a good rivalry. And actually, having the two teams and having the rivalry, I think would boost, would actually boost kind of some of the fanfare for the XFL there in Florida, and possibly bring more fans to the game, knowing that they've got an in-state rivalry thing happening. And I think that they could do that. Florida's a big enough football state to house two XFL teams, no doubt about it. So that's kind of my thoughts. It's kind of a short one. I don't really want to go, too much further with that. But the question, as always, is what do you think? And I want to know down in the comment section, guys. Let me know what you think, and we'll pick up the discussion there. All right, I know that you're busy. I know that I'm busy, so let's get on out of here. You have a good night. Bye.